All right, so we got biceps today, and I'm not about to start this car talk before the lift breaking down how to hit biceps. I think it's pretty straightforward. I don't think you need me to tell you how to go like this for an hour straight in the gym. But I will say, if you want something to grow, you got to have a day just designated to it. Now, not just a bicep day. I'm talking if you're doing biceps and triceps as just like one movement at the end of your chest day, just as like an accessory. If you treat it like an accessory, it's going to look like an accessory. I used to do that a couple of years ago, or at least for the first few years working out. I wouldn't really hit muscle groups like bis and tris as much as other movements like chest or back, legs. Treated it more like an accessory, and it will show, and also the workout itself will feel different when you start to treat it like any other muscle group. Now, you don't have to make a bicep day. Not even today what I'm doing is just biceps. I got back first, just a couple exercises of it to get a pump in my back, and then go on to biceps. But the key focus of today's workout is biceps. And I start with back first just because if I did biceps first then went into back, I wouldn't be getting as much out of my back than I would if I started with it. And I can still get as much out of my biceps if I start with back first and then go into biceps. That's why. Always the lead mover and compound movements start with first. So like if you're doing triceps, you got a tricep day, you would do your chest first and then go into triceps. And I think that is key for sure if you want to get a I just want to make sure this guy wasn't going to hit me. A fully rounded, developed physique. And that goes for shoulders, traps, whatever the hell. I mean, I don't have a designated trap day, but it sounded funny. But on my back day, like some of the back movements I do are targeting directly my either mid trap, upper trap. I put that all together in the back day, whole rounded back day. But today, the two back exercises I do before biceps, you make them to hit different parts of your back to get a full back pump, and then we'll move on to biceps, a few different movements for it. It's tough to overcomplicate biceps. I think it's pretty simple. But why even get a pump in my back if today's mainly about biceps? So it is to hit it enough within a training split more frequently than just doing it once every 8 days. Because I do push, pull, legs, rest, but each of the days are a different target of muscle. So like today's pull day is biceps mainly with a little bit of back, and then the other pull day is mainly back with a little bit of biceps. So by doing that, it helps me with the recovery, like the recovery loop, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure if you worked out, I mean, if you're watching this, I'm assuming you work out. 2 days after is usually when you're sore as hell. And day 3, usually get a little less sore. Day 4, you feel fine. Sometimes there can be an overlap if you do that, like push, pull, legs, rest. And one way I found for my own recovery of what to mitigate it is if you change the amount of volume. Intensity is always the same. You're always training hard going to the gym. I'm not worried about this fatigue thing going to the gym. Like, that's the whole point of going to the gym is fatigue. I had to get off my chest. After that, the amount of volume is what changes. And the different amount of volume from back today will still hit it, and you're still going to see growth from that, but the fatigue and like the soreness isn't going to overlap into my next pull day. Whereas if I did full back, full bi over like a couple weeks, it'll start to overlap each other, and then no bueno. Then I feel like the split starts to get a little shortened. But I've been doing the same split for over a year now. And everything that gets changed is diet. More, eating less, all that. And the further you get into working out, the more you realize how little changes on a day-to-day and even a week-to-week basis within your diet and training that makes massive change. This past month, I had one diet change, as in I added maybe 50 more grams of rice into like 3 separate meals. Well, other than that, the entire month my diet was the same, and I was growing every week. And the training was the same. The difference is I'd push harder, heavier weight, more reps, always going there giving 100% every time. But between those two, I consider that basically doing the same thing for a month. And I've grown completely, like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds a week, which is like 8 pounds worth of having the same diet and training, the same programming. And that's because you gotta let the program work its course. Your body takes time to adapt to what you give it. Once you have it set like that, you want to milk out as much as you can of being over that daily expenditure you're at, and also milk out as much as you can the training side of it. I mean, I'm not going to go into a rabbit hole about the training side of it, but you get what I'm saying about you're not always trying to flip shit around back and forth. Oh, I'm gaining weight, I need to eat more now. But like, dude, just once you got your rhythm, it's only minor adjustments. And that's how you see massive change, is small changes over a period of time. Rushing it will only screw you, because your body does not want to be rushed. By no means. It will tell you every time you try to rush your body, it will be upset with you. Whether it's you're trying to bulk too fast, you're going to be a fatty patty, or if you try to cut too fast, you're going to lose a lot of muscle, and you're also going to feel like crap. And that's both of those scenarios are going to get cut short. So it really is slower. And that's also convenient to know that, like, the minor changes, that you don't have to go crazy with having to adjust shit day in and day out. And that was something I got into, like, the constant changing of everything is something I was doing earlier on when I worked out, and I think everyone goes through that because they're not seeing results. But just the only reason you're not seeing the results yet, if everything else is on point, is just the time aspect. And you can't out-time time. Nobody can out-time time. So we're here. I think that was a solid chat before we win there. Let's go crank out some back and buys. See you in there. Hopefully this, all right, it's in frame. So, starting off with back. Normally I say start with a like a lat pull down or any type of lat isolation movement, just so whenever you hit the rest of your back movements, your lats are going to be probably the first thing that gives out because you started with them. But the fact that it is mainly biceps, I'm not worried about it. I'm just trying to get a pump in my back, and might as well take that time to start with something different on this second pull day of doing a row movement. I mean, it's gonna be hitting damn near every muscle in my upper back. So I'll do this, then I'll do a reverse lat pull down that'll help hit with the lower part of my back, and that's plenty for back for the day because that's not really what we're in here to hit mainly. So I hit the upper part of my back, lower part of my back, and 2 exercises is plenty. And then going straight into biceps, I'll do some type of preacher curl in the front, side, back. It really doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that I'm doing like 12 sets of it. And every set is just going as much as you possibly can. Think about it, this is like the exact same thing as a barbell row. And if you have a tough time feeling a barbell row in your back, or you have a tendency to slap on way more weight than you should be doing, which is what I normally do, having something like this, when it's on a fixed path, at least everything's in alignment when you're pulling more weight. And also this one's a little more forgiving when you get to your last few reps. The fact that I'm leaning back a little bit, I can still swing it on a, I don't even want to call this a fixed path, as well as have them controlled. And then once I can't do any more, kind of like a my own personal spotter, the fact that I can bend my knees a little bit and then pick up a little bit with my like a half squat pull, and you get like 5 more reps doing that. So we'll start with these. I'm not gonna do the first set though. I mean, let me get a couple in before I start ripping out complete exhaustion sets. I also try to sit up a little bit just so it's closer to a barbell row instead of like a seated row. I think most people miss out on like the bottom half of the movement. But if you have a tough time actually doing the movement in more than just your lats, like in your actual traps and middle of the back, that gets activated when you let go of the tension on your shoulders. Like when I'm here at the bottom of the movement, if you think about just relaxing your shoulders, it'll bring them forward like this, rounding forward an extra like, gosh, 4 or 5 inches. And that's like the main part when you hit your traps. Like if you ever see like barbell shrugs or something, you go like this. It's the same thing, except it's on a row. If you don't let it go down to that bottom part, you're actually gonna be hitting your traps on the beginning of the movement. It makes it way harder. All right, enough yapping. Let's get the next set. That's what I meant by getting an extra few by swinging it once you can't do any more controlled. Oh, man. That's plenty. Damn. All right, last thing for back, we'll do the supinated lat pull down. And honestly, since the fact that I'm, let's say, I don't know exactly the amount of weeks, but X amount of weeks into an off season now, into a bulk, I don't mind throwing an extra weight lower, like a couple pins down, occasionally, just to test like way more than what I'm normally used to. Because, I mean, what's the downside of that? Part of it you can actually see if you're over analyzing the controlling part of weight, and you can actually do way more and still control it. And that's usually what the category that I fall into, is if I try to overanalyze perfect reps, perfect 4-second eccentric, and get 15 with it. Realistically, I kind of dropped it, like added 30 more pounds on top of it. On the flip side, when I was in prep or when you're cutting, like, you just want to maintain whatever weight you've been doing when you were peak bulk. Like, whatever weight you get up to, you can push it a little extra, but I wouldn't be trying to like keep pushing new levels of more weight, especially when you're either prepping for a show, dieting down for 2 months. Realistically, you're not going to gain much, and if you do, you're probably going to be fatiguing yourself even more trying to push more weight when your main goal is fat loss, not trying to put on muscle. So that's why I don't mind throwing a couple pins down now, figuring out, oh, if I only get 4 reps, drop a little bit, and then reassess from there. I mean, what's the harm? I drop it, do my first set, only get 4 reps, then drop it a couple pins lower, and then do the rest of my sets normally. I see there's no problem. Song. Oh, you gotta give me a second before I start this set. I need to actually get a song that's not putting me to sleep. All right, that's it for back. Let's go do buys. Okay. All right. Honestly, it doesn't matter which type of bicep movement I decide to start with. Preacher curl, like in the front side, or like a lengthened one. Doesn't matter. You're gonna all get the same thing. Even if you wanted to do like 12 sets of just straight dumbbell curls, like no hammer curl, no variations whatsoever, you're not gonna see a difference between the person that does 3 different types of bicep curls and the guy that just does 12 sets of straight up dumbbell curls. I emphasize that a ton because I think people, including myself, often overanalyze a training split and try to have the perfect training split. But in reality, there's a million ways to get from point A to point B. And you're not going to see a different bicep look because I did 3 different ones. Maybe tiny amounts, but like, you're really not going to see the difference between it. And I try to emphasize that a ton, especially when I say that I mix up which exercises I do within my split, depending on if the machine's open. It's for that reason. Like, sometimes I'll do this preacher curl, sometimes I'll do the free weight preacher curl. Like, it's just honestly, as long as you're getting it in and pushing every set as hard as you can, same thing. That being said, let's get it. Some more weight. Damn, these are exploding my biceps today. Don't really be good, but like, I don't know, I think it's the fact that I'm upping the weight 2 more notches down, like I said earlier, and getting like 6 reps. It feels way different. Alright, I think this is good. There we go. My my disc gave out, or the storage got full mid last set. That's why I see it cutting straight into this. And in training terms, basically got stopped out. Basically got exit liquidity done. If you didn't think it was funny, I thought it was funny. Half the people that watch this probably also trade, so I'm assuming you guys trade as well. If 90% of people that are between the age of 14 to like 25, at least the guys that I know trade, so that was a horrible joke the more I think about it. I'm gonna stick to lifting. Let's get this going. I'm just start speaking in trading terms for half of the movements I do. I don't know, there's gotta be some good ones. My storage is full and my camera is stopping me out. I don't know, I feel like any pun I try to make is gonna sound awful. I bet I could think of a good one. I don't know, I'm trying to think of one when your bro fails his PR. When bro fails his PR and you have to re-rack the weight for him, bro's exit liquidity. I like that one. I don't care if you think that was funny. I thought that was good. I'll leave it to that one. I don't know if you guys want to comment better ones. That's the first one I can think of off the top of my head. That one and also the storage given out in this thing, saying that's exit liquidity. All right, I gotta bring some crossover humor into this a little bit. All right, next set. Okay. Yeah, don't be exit liquidity. Hit your PRs. think of more puns while I rest between my sets. I got another one. When you hype bro out for a PR that you know he can't hit. Hold on, let me say it correctly so I can clip it. When you hype bro out for a PR that you know he can't hit, you just watch the bar fall on his chest. Liquidity sweep. That one was horrible, but at least I'm coming up with them. I'll make a few more before we finish this workout. If you don't trade and you're trying to understand half the things I'm talking about, my fault. I think most people will know, but because I'm gonna explain why sticking to one program. You should stick to one program for a long time instead of switch them all the time. I'm gonna use trading terms. So changing your program every 6 to 8 weeks is no different than trying a new confluence every month. Like, you have to pick one, stick to it for a couple of years, and then once you're used to it, if you want to try something new, go for it. But same way you're going to be spinning your wheels doing new confluence is the same way you're going to be spinning your wheels doing new training splits every month, every 2 months. Like, pick one, go with it, max it out, then move on. That was a solid trading analogy. That'll be the last trade analogy, I swear. Back to normal speaking. That's it. Okay, let's take this off. Yeah, I thought that was solid. I gotta say, the amount of gains you can make after competing is crazy. Just because of you set your body up for like the perfect off-season or bulk, just because you competed, to where you bring your body down to like basically no fat. And body obviously doesn't want to be like that, it wants to have fat on it, so it thinks it can like survive. But the fact you get that lean, as soon as you're done competing, it really wants to put weight back on. And the slower you feed it food back, since it really wants to put weight back on, you can put way more muscle than fat if you do it slow. And you can put way more muscle on in like a 2-month span after competing than you would like an entire year of a bulk. So like these past 2 months, 3 months, it's probably going to be more amount of muscle that I gained than the rest of the 9 months of an entire year, just because of it was right after competing and I took it super slow. I mean, I still think I'm not stage lean anymore, but I mean, still, like, obliques are still visible, and I'm 20 pounds over my stage weight. So that's what I mean. Like, if you rebound correctly, you can do wonders. All right, let's get in the car. Let me put this up first. All right, let's get in the car. All right. Get it going. Yeah, if you don't trade and you're wondering what the hell is this guy talking about half the video, my fault, gang. My fault. Don't worry about it. I'll do plenty of explaining now without using confluences, liquidity sweeps, fair value gaps. Oh yeah. So yeah, solid lift. You saw from the intensity side of it. Everything's the same. I don't care that I'm going in there mainly hit biceps. I hit back just the same, just as hard. And I will say some big unlocks in back. What is this guy doing? Sitting in the parking lot. This guy's stopped in the middle of it. Biggest unlocks are from realizing how you're. What the fuck are you doing, dude? Gosh, this guy is tweaking. I almost just said realizing how. Maybe I did just say realizing how your back works. Let me elaborate. That sounded dumb. What I showed you, like the relaxing your shoulders, because I've gotten comments before of asked me like, how do I'm having a tough time feeling my back when I do a back movement. Sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's because you're doing like the first movement I did with, it was like a bit, kind of like a barbell row, but on a fixed axle. Some people will do that and they'll just do it, basically use it as like an RDL and kind of do a half quarter rep at the top of it and count that as like doing a pull movement. And they're like, why can't I feel in my back? It's like, well, you're doing a lower back RDL on the machine. So that's why. So you really saw me focus on not swinging at all. And then once I literally could not do any more without swinging, then it was like, swing it a whole ton. And that's how you can get away with not having a spotter with you. Because if you always have a gym bro to be with you every single time and your schedules line up, that's clutch. I can almost guarantee it's not always going to be like that. It's just the nature of it. And that's some ways you can get in a little extra push without having somebody there spotting you to pull it up with you. So yeah, that was solid. Always got to think of what you guys want to hear. I think part of it maybe is like, if maybe you don't have a V taper in your like back, kind of like a Dorito back. Maybe you only have the upper half of it. Maybe you like lack lower lats, or maybe you think that you genetically don't have lower lats, which is cap. Everybody has them. Just you got to know how to hit them. Doing the supinated lat pull down. If you lean like 45 degrees back, that'll help with hitting them quite a bit. I will say the biggest things to hit your lower lats are like lat pullovers. What's the JPG? Maybe you guys don't know JPG. He's kind of, when I was 16, it's like 5 years ago, he was the big guy to talk to or watch. You ever see the ones like the cable's above you, you're on one knee with the cable and you pull one arm down, like elbow driving into your hip, like pulling like that? Those are huge for hitting lower lat. Huge. Those would be one of the top things I'd do if I didn't have no lower lat. Oh, I gotta be careful. There's a guy on a motorcycle. Make sure I don't smack him. Those are huge. Yeah, but I will say, if you think that you don't have the genetics for like a V-tapered back, like you do. You just gotta learn how to hit it. And like, it's over time. Like, I didn't really focus on a specific, I mentioned this already, but a specific part of my back, because it's not a back focused day. And it was mainly just hit everything overall and get a pump. And now it's like, well, why am I on earth? Am I just going in to get a pump with it? It's like, well, otherwise it's 8 days until I hit it again. And you can definitely have enough time to... Was that guy okay? What the... okay, my bad. This guy was on a motorcycle and like you look behind him as if something broke off of his motorcycle. I'm just making sure that he wasn't... Alright, he pulled off to the side. I want to make sure he wasn't getting smacked or fall off of it and dead. We're good. He's chilling. Nothing wrong. Back to the important stuff. I will say, man, the patience it takes to be able to like start seeing results is huge, and it definitely carries over to everything. Let me take y'all back to when I first started working out and what really got me hooked on lifting. Now, whatever was going on in my life, I'm not gonna go into big detail, maybe for another time. But starting to work out, I started working out in my basement. The first 2 years of me lifting, I lifted in my basement, not at a gym, not with barely any weights in my doing here, with barely any weights in my basement as well, like maybe some concrete pieces, but like not much. And for 6 months I also didn't have a mirror down there when I was working out, and it's not like I was checking my pump out because there was no mirror. And 6 to 8 straight months of just starting to work out, did not even think about the results I was getting. I just was working out training, and eventually Dad was like, well, let's get a mirror, because I mean, let's make this into at least a little nicer gym area in the basement. So we got like one full-size mirror, like one plane that you see in the gym, and we put it up. And that day when I was getting my workout in and I was training with the mirror, because I mean, we all enjoy using the mirror working out. It's a lot easier to see your form. It's a lot. I like seeing the mirror almost every exercise I do. It makes it a lot easier to make sure I'm doing it right. And I was lifting with the mirror finally, and I was able to like actually looked at myself physique-wise 6 to 8 months later with the pump, and I saw my first ever like bicep vein, which I'd never seen before. Look, I'm 16 years old at this point, and I started off on the skinny side. Not the fat side. Like, I was skinny and I had to get bigger instead of fat and cut down. And seeing that was insane to me, because usually you go to the gym and you never get that like gratification from it and that reward over time. And the fact that I waited 6 to 8 months from the get-go, seeing that result, it was just a bicep vein, but to me it was like, holy shit, that's what I earned over the past 6 to 8 months. And I could see it, and it was like, dude, it was the entire arm. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. And I think, I can't say that's what, it would be cliche for me to say that's what got me hooked on the gym, was some goofy ass bicep vein. But I will say, I will never forget that, of like the gratification part that happens not often in a physical rewarding manner. It's usually you get rewarded of like, man, today was a great workout, or man, I got all my meals in today and I hit my calorie goal. It's usually not the physical results that makes you happy, but that did. And I will say, if you haven't gotten that feeling in a while from working out, and it's just kind of been over and over and over again, maybe don't work out with looking at whatever you got physique-wise. Maybe wear a hoodie in the gym for 6 to 8 months. Maybe the winter's coming up right now, or we're basically in the winter now, about to start it. Maybe go through the entire winter making your progress. Take a picture before, take a picture right now, and then wear a hoodie. Don't even check out your pump after working out. Don't look at it at all. And let's say 6 months. 6 months later, let's get one workout in without the hoodie. Let's see the difference there. I will promise that if you truly say you gave it your all for those 6 months, you will get that physical gratification that does not happen often within the gym. And it'll be pretty damn nice. It will be very nice. But it's got to be 6 months. You can't do this in a week. Because you ain't going to see shit. You ain't going to see nothing. 6 months. I think that would be... I'd say I'd do that myself, but then I wouldn't be able to make thumbnails for these videos, so. And nobody's clicking on me doing a bicep curl. I hope the thumbnail of this video, I don't make it a bicep curl. I'll make sure I don't do that. But you ain't clicking on that. I know damn well you ain't clicking on that. If I'm posing, maybe. So I'll leave it. That's for in the past for me now. But go for it. So I'll call it there. Appreciate you guys watching. Tomorrow we got glutes and hammies, so it'll be a solid one. And then the day after is rest day. I'll probably make a whiteboard video and then back to the usual. So appreciate y'all watching. Peace.